Hey guys, I'm Yellow, the Norwegian hardcore PC gamer. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and whatever else you want to say. I figured that I would record this video because now I got time. Christmas Eve and the Christmas Day that we all know and love have passed. It's been very chill and very cool for me. So hopefully you guys had a chill one as well. And if not, hopefully it was calm and stressless as it should be. Now, I figured this video should be dedicated to talk about and basically give you guys me and my opinion and review on this mode right here. So this is Danger Zone, CSGO, Valve's take on the BR genre. I honestly hope that they will keep on developing this game for the end game, because thus far, everything from the start all the way up to the mid-game type stuff, it's been done very well, okay? So let's start with some of the stuff that have been ironed out. We have already gotten patches for all of the AMD and Intel performance bugs and glitches, and Valve even was able to, let's say, implement some performance boosters to that sort of stuff as well regarding hardware. I'm not sure if this goes for matchmaking as well and casual, so you guys gotta fill me in the comment section below if you have experienced that. I don't play too much casual necessarily, but I know that for this mode, that has been fixed, and it is really important because that means that if you have low to mid tier to somewhat high tier, it's gonna be the same experience with Nvidia versus AMD at all, like completely. So it doesn't matter anymore, and it means that you can perform as good as possible. Good stuff all in all. But let's talk about the balance and the makeup of this game, because that is some of the stuff that is gonna matter the most to the people that enjoy the BR genre. I actually do enjoy the BR genre, and I started to enjoy it mostly before most people ever cared about it. I remember the Arma 2 mod where there was like a circle and people died if the new circle came, and it was like very sneaky and scary and crazy. I really enjoyed watching that Twitch channel like 7-8 years ago. They never had a single broadcast since that time ago, and not too long ago as well I unfollowed them on Twitch because there was no reason in following them anymore. They hadn't showcased anything regarding that mode for years. Nonetheless, I was hooked, and so time went by, and then we had the Battle Royale in Minecraft, and then we had the culling, we had H1C1's edition, later becoming King of the Kill, heavily modified again. Now we have Call of Duty even. The Battlefield guys were talking about something. I mean, Battle Royale as a genre, it has really exploded in every single way, shape, and form. Melee combat in the culling, all the way to Magic in Realm Royale, or whatever the hell that game was called. I can't even remember all the names. So what is important with this genre is to understand that they're trying to heavily bank on RNG. But sometimes RNG will bite people, and that is why having a balanced RNG system is super difficult to make, because if you have something being balanced, you are saying goodbye to RNG. You understand? That's kind of the weird way about this sort of stuff. But if you have it very balanced, okay, then you don't have RNG. But if you have RNG, you don't have it balanced. But that RNG can be really fun to play at, because suddenly you'll jump down, you'll get the Molotov, you'll find a red crate, and you'll be beating 3 guys with a good weapon. But maybe that other guy was camping a corner with a 5.7, or he was lurking behind you. He will one-tap you, and even if you were able to do everything right in every single situation, because of the inherent RNG to this genre and to a big kind of battlefield in general, yeah, certain things that you might not foresee could happen, and in some scenarios, even if you do everything right, that can punish you heavily. And that also means that a grade A player can play a tournament and get completely annihilated, while a grade C or D player can be dog shit and dominate in that tournament because he had lucky RNG. And so fundamentally, this is not a good thing. How did Valve treat this, and have they done a good job? I think that Valve have done a very, very good medium to plus job. If that sounds weird, if we score that effort on a ranking from 1 to 10, 10 being the best, Valve is landing like at 6 or 7, and that is sick and very good comparing it as its own kind of thing to rate versus all the other BR games. Like, Valve have done a great job because it's hard to do this right. How it has manifested itself into this game is that when you decide to spawn down, you can choose certain spots that allow you to look at physical areas where objects spawn. And that way you can put together and route and figure out how to get the best lethality, I guess is a word, early game. And that again is going to be crucial because it will allow you to, you know, fight and do a good job. But that's not all. The longer you live, the more money you get. And that allows you to buy important gear. And so even if you did not get that much good equipment, as long as you can run away or delay somebody so that you can run away, by any means possible, you are in good hands because you can buy faster drone delivery, you can buy armor, you can buy a weapon, you can buy ammunition, or even grenades for that matter. It's a really flexible system in this sense, and I think that it's balanced out the game very well as long as you're able to play the game somewhat tactical and stealthily at that. However, the circle will still annoy you, so that is going to be an issue. Certain bugs could happen as well, like this laser thing, but this is fixed. This gameplay is slightly old by now, but it's not a big issue at all. Other smaller things that could screw you up is the drone, and that is something I think Valve should try and think about, like make the drone stealth-ish, so that it's harder to see, or maybe fly higher with a specific upgrade or something. Maybe upgrade or buff the blue upgrade a bit for the drone delivery. Why is because if you're late game or even early game, that drone will destroy your stealth because it will be noisy and you can see where it flies and where it will leave out from after delivering its package that you bought, you know? So what that means is that your cover is blown, even if you're a terrible player, and that in return means that you have zero chance against certain players to make any fighting attempt at all. Ever in the most extreme scenarios. And here we can see the two packages. This is a different scale almost entirely, but let's quickly go through some basic things. So the red ring I think is fine. It works very well, or the void, I guess we could call it. I don't know what it's called. I call it rot. It doesn't make any sense, but you get the point. I think it's done very well and it's done cleverly, and I also love that you get to plan easily, so it's not an issue even though it's RNG where it will land, because you get to do the stuff you want to do properly. I also love that it's a shooting low player quantity battle royale game. That has not been done before, mostly, which also makes it very refreshing, and it's not hard for Valve to run with their servers they already have and all the horsepowers they have laying around. So there's that. But yeah, the packages, I mean, basically everything up to like mid-game is going to be decently balanced out. Sure, sometimes you can get royally screwed over, but you can also decide to pick your spawn location late, by the way, and that also gives you way more room to play stealthily, play smart, and plan and all that sort of stuff. But up to mid-game and later on, when the big packages, the two ones I mentioned earlier, land, that is when stuff gets crazy, because those packages are going to deliver you some insanely deadly weapons, and getting to those packages can also be screwy if you're far away. So this is something that have to be a little bit more learned, I guess, from the player perspective. But what I'm getting at here is that those guns can be so disgustingly lethal. You have 0.0 chance to beat the guy with one of those weapons. The M4A1 across range can be exactly that. The AWP can be exactly that, and the auto sniper can be exactly that. But that won't happen all the time, though. So obviously, you need to play this game to your biggest strengths, and obviously also in some scenarios you need to try and see if you can use grenades properly, because if not, you will be screwed because you don't have a gun that have any range at all, and that is a frequent issue with this sort of mode. So how that should be fixed, I'm not sure, but the game definitely in that regard and respect and for that reason need more terrain, but you can't really do that either. So hopefully in smaller areas anyways, Valve will add like something tiny and very solid that will help you with that, because without it you are never going to be able to, as a better player, to beat like a well-camped and decently skilled AWPer that have been able to get on top of one of the roofs endgame, and you also know where you are. So sure, some of these issues are around, but they aren't that grand, and all in all, if we compare this Battle Royale game to a lot of the ones that are out there, the general majority, not all of them, but most of them, I think that this Battle Royale game is doing fabulously in contrast. Of course, it will have some issues, and it's also through the lens of CSGO. So if this is not a game that fits you well, you are going to have a problem by default. And so I have to kind of disregard your hatred or dismay of this game, as I hear screw up with the delivery here, because it's way too late. But yeah, anyways, point in case is that from a player that understands the Battle Royale genre, and I've played thousands of hours collectively through a lot of them throughout time. H1Z1 probably being the one I played the most, even though I've also played a decent chunk of the culling, and I've watched it for a lot of hours as well, way too many to even know about. Yeah, my general analysis on the BR genre is that, like, this one, it have a ton of potential. It's done well from the bottom to the middle part, very well, and then it gets a bit muddy because of the factors I mentioned, and also some of them that I've not mentioned yet still, but they're kind of niche. But again, I guess because of how they're hard to define, that speaks volumes of how much work and effort Valve have put into the vision and the understanding of the rules and the core build-up of how this mode work. And so all in all, my general score, it lands at a by my standards, highly potent 7.5-ish score out of 10, which when I score stuff, that is, like, in general, really damn high, because I'm highly critical in general. Like, I don't see any reason to just splooge out 9ers and 10ers all the time. That doesn't make any sense. So to me, that is the score I will give this BR mode, and I gotta say that it's damn high. A game that gets decently close in my book would be Original The Culling to some degree, but not completely. It had some pretty crazy flaws. And I gotta say that, like, older H1Z1 had some decent potential as well, but that got completely butchered, so it's hard to even make a proper comparison with proper evidence and all that bullshit. Other games to mention would be Realm Royale, I believe. Isn't that the magic-styled one? As I hear, try and lurk and find the guy. He was so quiet. I couldn't hear him a single time. I didn't see him at all. It was madness. But anyways, yeah, Realm Royale, I believe it is, the one with magic, and when you die, you can actually run around, which is so damn nice. That's one hell of a luxury I love. But yeah, all in all, it's a nice breath of fresh air. This being seemingly the addition and a differentiation from the normal operations we have with CS. And so this is probably a pretty good time for people, if you're feeling bored about CS, to jump in and see if you can be able to clock some victories in this mode. Some people are starting to figure out how to play this mode. Some people are still holy hell dumb and bad. It's kind of awkward on their behalf, but honestly, if they haven't played this CS too much, it's gonna be difficult. Also, by the way, the decoy grenades in this mode are fabulous. They're awesome. Footsteps grenades, basically. And also, just understanding how to play silently, understanding that you need certain weapons and grenades and whatnot, and keybinding them properly, because without those, you're gonna have a difficult time when it really start to when shit start to hit the fan, like in the end here. But anyways, that is my basic review and holiday greeting for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you want to support my channel, do that through Patreon. Maybe buy one of the t-shirts, link in the description below. Those are pretty sick and pretty rare in that sense. Or just like and comment on the video. It's not that much of a big deal, really. And so, yeah, have a nice holiday time. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Have a nice day, and don't get beastyfied when you play.